We also have to look at the overall entitlement state of our nation. As an example, we spend about $1.1 trillion on Social Security. We spend about $850 billion on Medicare. We spend about over $300 billion on Medicaid, over $300 billion on veteran benefits, over $350 billion on interest only on our debt payment, which has not absorbed in the 500 basis points increase. In order for us to tame the tiger, we're going to have to take a serious look at the overall entitlement state that we have.
South Carolina Senator and presidential candidate Tim Scott can't make it any clearer that Republicans are coming for entitlements, or as millions of Americans call them, the things they pay taxes for. And Republicans are expanding their war on entitlements beyond just their traditional hatred of Social Security and Medicaid, because now they want to come for veterans benefits too, even though America's currently facing a record level of veteran suicide. The GOP's revamped war on social programs is also a far cry from the party's pledge to protect those same programs.
You may remember in the State of the Union, I got our Republican colleagues to agree somewhat spontaneously to protect Social Security and Medicare from any cuts. Remember I said, now let me get this straight. You're not going to cut Medicare, you're not going to. They said, that's right. I said, well, you know, you're on camera, they can see it. Well, so far, they're not cutting Social Security so far. And not only do they rule out any new revenue, they're still determined to make permanent the $2 trillion tax cuts.
Listen, despite what the comments say, I'm not actually a dum-dum, and I know that nobody expected Republicans to actually keep their word. But large majorities of Americans in both parties support protecting social programs, so it's good to have the GOP's lie caught on tape. And Republicans have obviously seen the polling that shows them losing any election where the focus is on social programs, because old meatball Ron DeSantis tried to get ahead of the blowback in remarks earlier this month.
Well, I've always said, promise made, promise kept. I'm a governor of Florida. Of course we're going to protect people's Social Security. My grandmother passed away when she was 91. That was her sole source of income. Yeah. And that's true for millions of seniors. And so that goes without saying. So when people say that we're going to somehow cut seniors, so that is totally not true. Talking about making changes for people in their 30s or 40s so that the program's viable, you know, that's a much different thing. And that's something that I think that there's going to need to be discussions on.
So let's get this straight. Ron DeSantis would never support cuts to Social Security, but he's fine with some revisions to Social Security, just as long as they only hurt young voters. You know, the people who aren't likely to vote for Ron DeSantis.
That's just the reality in terms of where I've been.
And Ron isn't alone either. Presidential hopefuls including Scott, Mike Pence, and Nikki Haley have all proposed cutting Social Security for younger Americans, without explaining how they do it or how reducing the Social Security base would help seniors. But there is one presidential candidate who has absolutely ruled out any cuts to Social Security on multiple occasions. Former president and man who gets most of his votes from older people, Donald Trump. And if you thought Donald Trump was going to be quiet after Ron DeSantis stepped in it, well, you don't know Donald Trump very well.
The DeSanctimonious polls are crashing because of his stance on obliterating Social Security and Medicare. Nothing he will ever do is going to change his votes against. Attracting small crowds that leave really early, that's never a good sign. Changing his name in the middle of the campaign to DeSanctus, I will tell you, it just doesn't work. Never change your name in the middle of a campaign. Thank you very much.
Now, would Trump actually protect Social Security? Tough call. But by calling out Republicans' incredibly unpopular policies, Trump is actually helping make the Democratic case here, which is good, because Democrats aren't proving very good at doing that by themselves. Outside of a few remarks by Joe Biden, we haven't really seen Democrats do much to prioritize protecting social programs. And that's weird, because it isn't just good policy, it's winning politics. And Democrats just have to reach out and grab it. Democrats now head into the 2024 election with a host of winning issues, and seemingly no motivation to actually sell them to the American people. If Donald Trump is Democrats' best messenger on protecting Social Security, we're really screwed. Hey guys, I'm really excited to share that I just launched my own YouTube channel to dig even deeper into the big political stories that fascinate me. So go check out The Third Degree and be sure to subscribe there and here. And as always, leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.